So I recently met this guy who goes by Springfield Batman. He's one of those folks that, dresses up like Batman and visits kids in hospitals and stuff like that. And we started brainstorming, and we're really looking forward to doing some cool projects together around his Batman persona. It seems like a lot of fun. But as usual, you kind of have to kick things off with a little project to get started. And I had an extra sheet of black acrylic laying around, and he has an event coming up to try to get some sponsor funding or to get local community around his character. And so I thought it would be fun to make little Batman keychains for him to use at the event. I opened Illustrator and I imported this Batman symbol. He liked the latest version, so I found that one, the one with the Ben Affleck movie. So I imported it. It's an image, and then I noticed I had squished it a little bit, so I shrunk it back down without squishing it, because that would have sucked to do all these and have them the wrong shape. And I went and I traced it into a vector. I didn't want to do a raster. I wanted to cut the shape as a vector. And then I went all the way down into the file and deleted the extra. That white space around it gets a path created for it too, so I deleted that. Now I needed to create the text. I wanted it to say Springfield Batman on it. So I started with Springfield, and then I added Batman, and then I went back and started playing with the actual shape of the text itself and the font. I wasn't looking for any official font that had been used. I just kind of picked one that looked good, and then I started, shifting around the size and stuff like that. Now, keep in mind, I'm envisioning this being only maybe 2 inches across, and I wasn't entirely sure how well my laser was going to handle tiny text. Turns out it did okay, but I believe the word Springfield here was at the lower end of what it wants to do for raster lettering that's very clear. Then again, these are really blocky letters, and I stretched them out, so maybe if I didn't use a bold font or something, they would have actually been more clear, because, the laser engraving would have been easier to see. I'm not really familiar with Illustrator yet, and I didn't really see any way to adjust the letter spacing, and I know it's in Illustrator, but I just grabbed it and did it manually with the handles there instead. I liked this spacing, and so I needed to adjust a few things. I needed to convert the main shape to an outline so that it would cut it instead of engraving it. And then I needed a hole for, so you could put it on your keychain. I started thinking I'd throw the hole here, and I liked that idea. That was pretty cool. And then I thought maybe I would try putting the hole on an external tab, kind of off to one side. So I dragged this circle over here and I started creating a curve to integrate it into the side of the bat. But 2 things happened here. One, I realized my lack of knowledge of Illustrator was being a pain in the butt here, because I didn't really know how to then delete the sections of the circle that I didn't want. And 2, I realized I didn't need all that, and it just looked better inside the overall shape of the Batman anyway. So I got rid of that idea and put that circle back inside the Batman so that it would just cut a hole right into it. Then I exported it to the laser as a DXF. Here you can see the row that I did a test engrave on, or a test run. I've left it in real time so you can get a feel for how long it takes to actually engrave this kind of stuff and cut it. I think I'm at about 15% power on the laser and 200% speed for this engraving. And then the cut drops down to something like 98% power and 10% speed. It's a super slow cut, but it goes right through, nice and clean. Might even be too slow. I'm getting some flame out there that I don't know. I don't know if that's normal. But they came out really pretty, although I needed to tweak some stuff, as you'll see in just a second here. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what to expect here. This is the first time I've used the acrylic with the paper on it, and I've engraved right through it. I may need to bump my engraving settings up a bit. Let's peel this off here and get a peek. This is kind of hard to peel off while keeping right here in focus of the camera so you can see. We're going to try to do it. Oh, I scratched the surface. Obviously, you shouldn't scratch your surface up. And I'm going to have to bump the power up a whole bunch, because that just barely got to the surface. I can't even feel it. I can just barely see it if I get the light just right. Yeah. So we're gonna have to double or triple that power. The cutting power was good though. Nice and slow. And here we go with try number 2 with the engraving settings turned up a whole bunch. I think I'm at about 30% power and 200% speed. I ran the file again. Here's the original, and then here it is with the engraving power doubled. Much better. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Not bad for a free little trinket for meeting the Springfield Batman. So then I just ran through the process for the rest of the acrylic sheet, packing as many on there as I could. I've always loved these patterns you get whenever you do laser cuts or plasma cuts or things like that. It's so cool looking. Well, that was fun and easy and moderately quick, so I hope he enjoys them. He'll be getting them later this weekend. Alright, see you next time.